Did you get married to your first husband?
1943, June the 7th, 1943.
When did you meet him?
I met him in Sunday school at First Methodist Church.
And how old were you when you met him?
I met him 5 years before that.
Okay, so before you graduated from high school?
Yeah.
And what was his name?
Charles Wilson.
And tell me what made you decide you wanted to marry him.
Oh, he was just wonderful. He was good looking, he was kind, he was sweet to me. I just was ready to get married.
Did he propose?
Oh, yes.
Tell me how he proposed.
Well, we went out for a hamburger and a Coca-Cola that we shared. Back in those days, money was scarce. We'd share a Coke. And he asked me to marry him, and I said yes.
Do you remember where y'all went to get the hamburger?
It was on Lemon Avenue at, what's the name of the place? It was a famous hamburger place on Lemon Avenue. I can't remember the name of it.
Is it still there?
No.
Okay. And so when he asked you to marry him, did you say yes immediately?
Yes, I said yes immediately.
Did you expect that he was going to ask you to marry?
No, it was a surprise.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So did y'all have a big wedding?
We were married at home. I had a long white dress and veil, and we were married at home.
And how many people were at your wedding?
It was mainly family.
Yeah.
One of my sisters stood up with me, and Sister Lita took care of everything else.
Yeah. Who performed the ceremony?
Now, I didn't know you were going to ask me that.
Oh, sorry.
I can't remember his name. Sorry.
That's okay. That's all right. So did you continue working after y'all got married?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Was there any pressure on you to not work?
Well, he was in the service, and I had to work. He was gone, and I had to work.
So that would have been during the war?
During World War II, yes.
Um,
I was with him while he was in the States, in Massachusetts and in Colorado, and then he went overseas.
And when he went overseas, did you come back to Dallas?
Came back to Dallas, lived at home.
So during World War II, did women need to work during the war to support the war?
Yes. That's when I was working at North American Aviation.
And what did you do?
I wasn't Rosie the Riveter, I was a secretary.
And what was it like when you worked during the war?
Well, it was hard. You know, everything was rationed, and you just had to be very careful how you spent your money.
Did you have any fear that the war would come here?
Yeah.
How did you deal with the fear?
Well, I just was scared, but thank goodness it didn't.
When did he come home?
In 46.
Where was he stationed during the war?
He was in Okinawa.
And were you afraid for him?
Yes, yes, yes.
How did you deal with that?
Well, I just kept hoping for a letter every day and waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'd finally get through for it one time. But back during the war, they marked out half of what anybody would write you, so you didn't know exactly what was going on.
So how did you feel when he came home?
Happy, elated. I could hardly wait to meet him in San Antonio.
So you went to San Antonio?
I flew to San Antonio and met him, yeah.
And then, so did life kind of get back to normal?
Yeah, yeah. He went to work, and I was still working.
Where did he go to work at?
He went to work for Young's Rubber Company as a salesman.
And then were you still working at the aviation?
No, I was at McKesson and Robbins, a wholesale drug company, as a secretary.
Okay. So did you want to have children?
Yes.
And did that ever happen for
No,
you?
I wasn't that fortunate.
How did he feel about you being in the workforce once he came back from the war?
Well, he didn't mind me working.
So did he, I don't want to say approve, but was he in favor of you being out there and in the workforce?
Well, when he came back, we opened our own business. We had a children's shop over on Snyder Plaza, so we worked together.
Together.
Mm-hmm.
How long did y'all have the children's shop?
I think about 5 years.
Why did y'all stop having the children's shop?
Well, he passed away,
Okay.
and I didn't want to run it by myself.
What year did he pass away?
1959, May the 5th.
What did he pass away from?
His heart just exploded. Had a massive heart attack.
And how old were you when that happened?
36.
Oh my goodness. So what was life like for you being a widower at that young age?
Wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Wasn't easy. But I kept the shop for a while, and then I quit.
Did you sell the shop or just close it?
I had to just sell it, liquidate it.
Yeah. So then what did you do?
Let's see, where did I go to work then? I don't remember. That's been a day or two.
Tell me what your favorite memory is of your first husband.
He was a good dancer, and he always wanted to go dancing.
And you enjoyed that?
I enjoyed
Where
that.
would y'all go dancing at?
Just every place, especially at Luann's. It used to be on Greenville Avenue.
And what kind of dancing did y'all do?
Just ballroom dancing.
Have you danced since?
Well, yeah, I did. Later years.
What was the last time you went dancing?
Well, it was with my second husband, and I guess that was in we married in 62, so I guess it was 1962.
So how long were you single before you married your second husband?
2 years.
And did you know him already, or did you meet him?
He was a next door neighbor. My husband knew him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And had he been married before?
Yeah.
And what happened with his marriage?
Divorce.
Okay. So, and what was your second husband's name?
Arthur William Powell,
And y'all got married what year?
1962, November the 19th.
Okay.
No, September the 19th.
And so what did he do for a living?
He was in the catalog publishing business.
And did you help with that?
No.
Did you keep working after you married
No,
him?
I was at home then.
Was that at his request or because you
No, I
wanted
just
to?
did. Just for a change.
So when did you go back to work after that?
Well, when he passed away, I went back to work for Francis and Bob in the law office.
And what year was that?
1971.
So tell me your favorite memory of your second husband.
I guess the way he proposed to me.
Tell me how that went.
He sent me a letter. He called it not a receipt, he called it an invoice, and asked me if I would accept his invoice. And he got around to saying for marriage, and I gave him my answer and said, yes, I would.
Do you still have the invoice?
Yes.
So what was your wedding like to him?
My second wedding?
Yes.
Well, we were married at Ridgewood Park Methodist Church with just the family, Francis and Bob and Sister Lita. We were married in the church, just family.
And you were in Altrusa by that point.
I became a member in 68.
Okay. So after your second marriage.
Uh-huh.
Tell me if you remember, this isn't in our